Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to be giving you my number one 5k shoe of 2020. Hey, what's up everyone and welcome back to 40 Runs. So this week we're talking about 5k shoes, mainly because you guys were asking for it. After I did a half marathon, best of half marathon, best of 10k and other videos in that series. So this week we want to talk about the 5k, and I think also I'm kind of looking at 5k and parkrun. So just to give you a bit of a heads up. Now let me know in the comments, what's your number one shoe that you would put on to go and do parkrun or a 5k time trial? We're talking about ultimate speed here. I think there's been some amazing shoes this year for all different abilities that you can use over the 5k distance. You know, there's people out there who can run a sub 20 park run, say, or you've got people who can run a 30-minute park run, which is awesome as well. And there's some amazing shoes out there that will help you achieve those goals. So I kind of narrowed it down. I gave it some thought because I've been using in the past the 4% over the 5k distance and over park run when I've really wanted to tear one up. This has got this amazing little bit of pronation. See that on there? But I've been using that. That was always my go-to 5k shoe. So I gave it some thought because there's been some amazing shoes out there this year, and I wanted to try and also give you guys a bit of variation and not just go for the obvious choices. So let's get stuck in. Right, so 5k shoes. Now, I think some of the options you can choose, which I've not picked as my number one 5k shoe, are the shoes from Skechers. You've got the Razor Hyper 3. The reason I've not picked that, by the way, is because there's a new version, it's the 3 Plus, which you can't get over here in the UK at the moment. The Razor 3 is an unbelievably quick shoe. I absolutely love it. If you've not seen the review, check it out. But I don't think it's fair to talk about a shoe that's got a new version out now because we're in 2020. But I would recommend you check out the Skechers shoes. The Saucony Endorphin line, obviously fantastic shoes over a 5k distance. The Pro, you've got the Speed. But I just think they're probably, for me, more suited at different distances. You've got the Asics, obviously you've got the Metaracer, which is my 10k shoe. That's obviously a good shoe over 5k, but I picked another one. What else? Brooks Hyperion Tempo. Oh my God, what a great shoe. DNA Flash, nitrogen infused midsole. Very similar along the lines of the Skechers Razor 3. Fantastic shoe, in particularly over the sort of 10k half marathon distance. That is a great shoe. If you're an everyday runner like me, that is a fantastic, fantastic shoe. New Balance Fuel Cell TC. Great shoe. If you don't mind it, it's a little bit unbalanced for me. I think over 5k that's still a great shoe with the plate in it and the fuel cell. That is a great option if you're looking for quite a springy, softer ride. That's a great shoe to check out. But like I say, there's been so many awesome shoes. Nike, you've got the Zoom 3, which I've done a video on, and versus the Tempo. Now the Tempo, which a lot of us on YouTube absolutely savaged, but it's amazing the comments that I've seen from you guys that you really dig it, and that's awesome that you get on with it. For me, it wasn't anything special, but I'm so pleased that some of you guys are finding that as a good shoe. Is that the best 5k shoe of 2020? Maybe not for me, but let me know in the comments. So I think I've narrowed it down to number one. It was tough because, as I said, it was there's so many good shoes out there this year. Right, so my number one 5k shoe of 2020 is the Vaporfly. Now, before you start screaming and shouting at me in the comments that this is a shoe from 2019, I totally know that and I totally understand that, but you can still buy it, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it. The other reasons why I picked it is because I did a 5k time trial in this shoe this year, and if you've not seen the video, check that out. But basically, I ran a 20-minute time trial in this shoe. It wasn't on a track, it was just on a park run course. I was filming, it was 27 degrees, but I still managed a 20-minute 5k, which for me is fast, you know, I was kicking along. And I ran it in this shoe, and I think that's the best and most honest way, I think, of finding the fastest shoe for me over the 5k distance was to do a time trial, and it was this shoe. So let's get into some of the stats and some of the features of the Vaporfly. Like I said before, this is a relatively older shoe, but still preferred by some of the elites. You've got this big slab of Zoom X foam in the midsole. And this obviously features a full-length carbon plate which is nestled in between the Zoom X. You've got the Vapor Weave upper. The shoe is, what is it? Well, 7.1 ounces, which is nice and light. And that's about it, really. That's about as much information as I've got on the shoe. Now, it's the stack height in it is, I think it's 8mm less than an Alpha Fly. Now, the Alpha Fly is It can go up to about, hang on, actually I might have my notes here. Yeah, so an Vaporfly has got an ultra high of between 39.5 and 45 mil stack, and this is 8 mil less than that. So it's still got a massive stack height in it, but it's obviously not as much as an Vaporfly. And unlike the Vaporfly, you don't have the AirPods here. So you literally just got one big long slab of Zoom X, which is Nike's most responsive and highest energy return midsole material, and then you've got the plate running through it as well, which is where you get that sort of kick on. What I found with this shoe is that I'm landing here, I'm getting a massive kick off the Zoom X, and I'm getting pushed onto the plate. But unlike a Saucony Speed or Pro, where you roll through the shoe, or a Brooks Elite shoe where you roll through it, you sort of bounce from the Zoom X onto the plate and off you go. That's the sensation you get with this shoe, and very much like the Vaporfly, but the Vaporfly you then get onto the firmer pods at the front. But you get that sort of softness and the high energy return trampoline effect through the shoe onto the plate, and then off you go. There has been some complaints about the stability of the shoe, which I totally get. And to be honest with you, if I was running this over a twisty 5K course, I would probably be more reluctant to running it. But the 5K time trial I did was reasonably sort of not flat, but uncurved track, probably not good English. So I didn't have too much problem in terms of stability. The outsole, which I think, you know what, is held up pretty well. If you look, I know it looks like it's been ran through a few puddles now, but you know what, actually, it's held up pretty well, isn't it? Now, I've run a few halves in this, and I've done a few time trials and 10Ks and stuff in this shoe. And you know what, considering that is basically exposed foam, that's held up pretty well, don't you think? But yeah, so, that was it, the upper. Now, the upper, I actually prefer this upper to this upper. This upper is just a little bit too thick and a little bit too coarse for me. And now, I really dig this shoe, by the way, so don't get me wrong. I really like the 4%, but I much prefer the Vaporweave, which is very similar to what you get on the Adidas series of carbon plated shoes, the Adios and the Pro. I just really like the Vaporweave. It's great, especially when it's wet, but I just really like the fit of it. In terms of fit, actually, there's plenty of width in here. I've had no issues in terms of it being too narrow or anything like that. But that's what I was going to say before I got on to concluding this video. So yeah, my number one 5K shoe of 2020 is a 2019 shoe. But I just think the fact that you can still buy this, if you're looking for a really racy shoe on a road, or even on a track, but on a road condition that you really want to step it up, then I would really seriously look at the Vaporfly. I think it's a fantastic shoe, and it's definitely still my top 5K shoe of the year.